What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome back, and I hope everybody had a great weekend. I am really excited to keep diving into this series with you guys. I know we started Friday off. I want to say Monday. You know, you would normally start a series off on a Monday, and Friday just happened to be where we started. But I'm really excited to get through this. You know, Friday we talked about, see, I just did it. Friday we talked about mindset, and we started with mindset, and we talked about why it's so critically important to have your mindset dialed in so that you can succeed in all areas of your business. And I hope you guys had a chance to listen to that, to soak some of that in, to hear why mindset is so important and how having the right mindset can help you propel your business to the next level. Now, today, I want to take it a step further. We're going to do a little bit more inside of mindset, and we're going to talk about beliefs. And again, if you're just seeing this, I don't want you to hear like mindset and beliefs and disappear. I want you to understand that this is something that not many people are talking about, and it's honestly really, really critical that you guys have this stuff nailed down before you have any other area of your business nailed down. If you have other areas of your business that are working really well, that's great. They can always be better. I feel the same way for mine as well. So, but mindset and beliefs are really, really big, and they're really the starting point of all of success in your business and in your life, okay? So today I want to talk about why your belief is what matters the most. And if you take a second and think about the things that you think on a daily basis, if you think about the beliefs that you have, like most people don't actually stop and evaluate those thoughts. They just like have these set beliefs and they operate from those beliefs. So like you think something is a certain way because of an experience or your childhood or whatever, and you just sort of like operate by default as if that is the way things really are. And I want to challenge you to think for a second that maybe that's not true. Maybe the beliefs that you're telling yourselves are actually wrong, or maybe the beliefs are, you know, skewed or manipulated by somebody else's belief or way of thinking, okay? So I want to dive into that. I want to start, I've put some slides together for you guys for today. And let me just pull the screen up real quick and hop over, and we'll just get rolling. And again, guys, let's talk about beliefs today and why your belief is what matters the most. Now, I'm going to give you some examples, and I want to talk through them with you guys, and I hope that this all really makes sense. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll answer everything I can, okay? So let's just start here. Your belief is what will determine your outcomes in life and in business. And I think a lot of people could hear this and on the surface be like, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm sort of like a victim of circumstance, right? But what if the way you thought about things, what if your beliefs about things actually helped create and manifest that result, right? So like, what if, just hear me out. What if you are in the situation you are right now in your life because of the way you think or respond or the thoughts that you put into your head or the beliefs about those things that you have? Okay, so what I want to encourage you and challenge you to do is think about it from a different perspective. Think about it from the fact that the outcome, like whatever outcome it is that you want, think of it as if your belief, the things that you believe about that outcome, whether it's true or not, whether you can reach a goal or not, what if that belief determined that outcome? And I want to tell you guys, it's my experience that that's exactly the way it plays out. Well, that doesn't mean you won't hit some bumps along the way, you won't have setbacks. You know, at the end of the day, if you choose to believe something's impossible, it's going to be impossible. And you could look at any CEO of any major corporation or any business owner that you respect and admire, and I can promise you they did not get to where they want or to where they are now by doubting themselves or having limiting beliefs that they could not achieve their goal. So the belief system itself, what you put up in your head, in between the ears, in your mind, the thoughts and those beliefs are going to help get you to that next level in your business. And so that's really important that you start there. Now, your beliefs are directly related to your thoughts. So, simply put, if you're seeing an outcome in your life that you don't like or your business that you don't like, change the way you think about it. Okay? Most people like to stay in like fear or uncertainty or negativity. I want to encourage you guys to change the way you're thinking about whatever the outcome that you don't like or you don't want is. So, for instance, let's just use like your business. You've never made $1,000 sale as a photographer, right? So if you always think, I'm never going to make $1,000 sale, I'm never going to make $1,000 sale, I can't do it, it doesn't work. Well, it's not going to work for you, quite honestly. Now, if you know and you have that belief, hey, I know I can do this, just because I haven't done it yet doesn't mean it's not possible. right? If you can adopt that belief internally, you can have whatever you want in your business. You can have the $1,000 sale. You can have the $5,000 sales. You can have the six-figure year. But it all starts with your beliefs, and the way that you're thinking, the things that you put into your head are going to affect what you believe. If you watch, news all day and it's all negatively slanted, and then that's the only thought you put into your head, that's ultimately going to be what your belief system becomes. You're going to believe those things and that negativity. So you got to change the way you're thinking. That's a really big part of this. Number 3, most people believe the lies or stories in their mind from years of conditioning, right? So this is from childhood, like from, being 2, 3, 4 years old, like maybe your parents, hey, God love them. They tried the best they could. They did the best they could, but they ingrained some beliefs in you that weren't necessarily the truth or beliefs that served you well. Those are conditioned beliefs over the years. So like when you start out as a kid and you just do it over and over and over and over again, that's what a conditioned belief is. So what you need to do is figure out, is this really true or not? Do I really believe whatever I'm thinking is true or not? And what I want you guys to know is that you can change the belief. You can change it at any time. You just have to make the decision to do so. So if you shift up and you change that conditioning up, where it's like maybe from birth you've been conditioned to believe that you can't run a successful business because nobody in your family's ever done it, and your parents tell you nobody's ever owned their own business successfully in our family, right? So if you choose to believe that and you live your life sort of under the context of that belief, you're never going to have the business you want. But if you choose to believe that, hey, I am capable of this, I can make this happen for myself, and I'm going to do it no matter how hard it is, then you can find a big shift and see some really great things happen. But you've got to change the conditioning that exists currently, okay? Number 4 is probably the most important. I posted in this group a few days ago, or I guess it was last week, about just an old story about a girl I was dating, I guess it was 14 years ago now, who told me to get a job because, obviously she didn't believe in my abilities to have a successful business. So one of the biggest lessons I learned from that, and I've seen it over and over and over with thousands of people, is that you literally cannot accept somebody else's belief about your ability. What you have to understand is if somebody tells you you can't do something, or they have a doubt or a negative belief about your ability, that is really a projection of their beliefs and thoughts about themselves onto you. And that's all it is. So if you take that and run with it and you say, hey, look, you can think whatever you want about me, I don't accept that as reality or the truth, and you move into your own truth and you live your purpose, nothing can stop you. Okay? But just make sure, a lot of people are really, really quick to tell you you can not do something. I can't tell you how many people were like, hey, you can't do this, or hey, you can't do this. We've got a pandemic going. You can't charge people. You can't run a business. Well, what am I supposed to do? Not provide for my family? You got to think about it. You can't let other people's negative belief or negative thoughts dictate your life and the outcome of your business, okay? So just make sure that you are adopting and listening to your own beliefs, because internally, that's really what matters the most, not what anybody else thinks. Now, it's also important to know that most beliefs where doubt is created are considered a limiting belief, basically something that holds you back from achieving an outcome. And most limiting beliefs are born out of fear. So number 4 and number 5 play really closely together. If somebody's doubting you, or if somebody else has a negative belief about you, that's really their own fear of their ability to accomplish that goal. It has nothing to do with you. But you got to understand, most limiting beliefs are born from fear. And if you can push fear out the window, I'm telling you guys, you can have an amazing, wildly successful business. But that's the first thing that you got to do. Okay, so I want you guys to ask yourself a couple questions. Where are you limiting yourself in your own beliefs, right? And I want you to ask yourselves this question, not from a place of shame or feeling down about it, but I want you to ask it to yourselves from a place of wanting to grow, wanting to improve and get better, okay? Where are you limiting yourself in your own beliefs? I'm going to move my screen. Hold on one sec. See if I can move this out of the way. Okay. So ask yourself now, what is one old belief that you know isn't true? And my intention right here, guys, is to help you start to shift your beliefs and start to live in a better energy. Okay, start to live in a better belief system where positivity, abounds, and you can have the business of your dreams because you back that desire with your belief. Okay, so ask yourself a question. And if anybody wants to share these in the comments or reach out to us about it to talk about them, that's cool too. But what is one old belief that you just know isn't true? I want you to think about that. Really take a second, jot it down, and ask yourself, really go deep, like introspectively, and ask yourself, what is the old belief that you know isn't true? Number 8, I want you to replace the old belief with a new belief. And I want you to ask yourself now, what is the new belief that I'm going to start living in? So again, let's just use the photography business as an example, right? Let's say, the old belief is I'll never have a successful business. Okay? Why ask yourself, what is the old belief? Like, why do I have that belief, and why is that not true? So my thought would be, the new belief would be, I can have a wildly successful business because I see other people doing it all the time. And if they can do it, well, then I must be able to do it too. I just need to figure out how to get there. Okay? That is shifting beliefs. And that's really important because most people stay stuck in a belief, or like a negative belief or a limiting belief, because they feel like they failed. Like something hasn't worked the first 5 times. So man, I must be a failure. Again, I said it Friday, but failure is essential to success. Any successful business owner will tell you that they've had many, many more failures than successes. It's just that the successes, when they hit, they're huge. They far outweigh the failure, but failures are stepping stones to success, okay? So you have to understand that you can't put so much guilt and shame on yourself if you don't succeed at first. You have to understand that every failure is a stepping stone to success, okay? So if you adopt that belief and you start moving in that direction in your business, then you're going to start to see that other doors are going to start opening because you're going to be attracting positivity into your life and in your business. So live in that new belief, okay? Live in that new identity. Because honestly, guys, if you want a successful business, if you want to get to the next level and you're not willing to change the beliefs, then you're just going to stay stuck. And you can't blame anybody but yourself for that. It's a hard lesson learned. I've learned it myself. Trust me, back in the day, I had the same insecurities. I was like, I don't know how I'm ever going to make $100,000 a year. My first goal was $50K a year. Man, if I could just make $50K a year, God, I would be doing amazing. And it seems so far away. And I'm here to tell you guys, looking at it now, like almost a decade and a half later, it was such a small goal at the time, but you don't know what you don't know, right? And the thing is, $50,000 when you've never made $50,000 in your business, it's a long way. But $50,000 when you're used to making, 6 figures a year is now suddenly like an easier and much more achievable goal. Well, that's how this stacks as you progress in your journey as a business owner. So keep that in mind. Change the old belief, replace it with the new belief, and start living in the identity of that new belief. And you're going to see big things happen. Now, 9, how does the new belief liberate you? This is a really big one for me because, when I didn't have the things I wanted in my business, I always kind of felt like, like enslaved to the business, so to speak. Like, I felt like, I'm never going to get where I want to go. I don't know how to get there. And I lived in that mindset for a long time too, guys. That's why I can tell you guys this stuff now, and I can tell you from a place of certainty and confidence because I've lived it. And I know if you're feeling it right now, if you do what I'm telling you to do, you're going to start to feel the shift happen. And what happens is, as you start to live in those new beliefs and the beliefs of possibility and what you can accomplish, it becomes liberating because you start to see step by step, you start to see the result of that new belief manifesting. So how does that liberate you guys? How does it liberate you when you feel like, you used to have a thought of, man, I can't get my business where I want it to go, or I've never made a $3,000 sale. And then all of a sudden you start hitting $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 sales. You have to think about that. Like, how does that liberate you, not only mentally, but just, financially in your business? How much more confidence do you bring to your business that way? You got to think about it. I mean, it can liberate you guys in many ways. But again, it all starts back at the top with mindset and your belief system in general. And that's really what's the most important thing to remember here. And 10, how does the new belief better serve your clients? Guys, if you're living in an old belief, an old mindset, and a mindset of, say, poverty or fear or lack or uncertainty or shame, how do you project to your client? How does your client perceive you as a business owner, as a person? They're going to feel and sense that you're off a little bit, right? And this is no judgment. Again, I've been there. So what I can tell you is the opposite is also true. When you can bring confidence and certainty and all of those great things to the table for your client, they're more likely to buy into you because they trust you more. They trust the confident business person. They trust somebody who has better energy, who has higher energy, who can relate to the client in a way where they just know like things are going to get done. The business is thriving. It's not like you're not depending on that person's sale to keep your business afloat, because there's a sense of scarcity there, and if they can feel that, they're gonna be repelled. They're gonna move away from you. Okay, so if you can live in the new energy and in the new beliefs of what's possible, and keep stacking every single win that you have along the way, you're going to attract better clients, and not only are you going to attract them, but they're going to be willing to pay you and pay you more money, and it's a really, really cool thing to watch happen. Let's keep diving in here, and let's talk about some vocabulary to eliminate real quick. This is a short list, guys. There's a few words I want you guys to take out of your vocabulary. If you're in a place, and look, if you've got this stuff dialed in, if you're in a great mindset, if you have positive beliefs about your business, that's awesome. Let this be a refresher. If you're not quite there, or if you struggle or you go back and forth, let this also be a reminder that, hey, this stuff isn't easy and it takes conditioning. You got to do it over and over and over and over again. Sort of like you had the old beliefs conditioned from childhood, okay? So vocabulary I want you to eliminate. First is I can't. You got to remove I can't from your vocabulary, period. Because every time you say something negative like that, you're basically embedding this in your subconsciousness. And your subconsciousness is just going to act on what you feed it. So if you say I can't, then you won't. And you got to change that. I don't. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't have the resources. I don't have the skill set, whatever. You've got to replace that word. I'm not. I'm not as good as this photographer. I'm not as experienced. Whatever it is, you've got to replace I'm not. Even if some of these things are true, even if you're still building a business and building up your skill set, you got to work through these things, right? If you live in the I can't, I don't, I'm not, it's really gonna sabotage your business. And one of the big ones is the comparison mindset, where other people are doing XYZ, or such and such photographer is doing $500,000 a year, I can't get clients in the door. Or other people will judge me because they feel like XYZ, like I'm charging too much. They'll judge me for my new pricing, whatever. You got to get rid of these things in your vocabulary. I want you to replace those with how can I? Okay? How can I is so much better than I can't. How can I presents the challenge and the obstacle for you to now find the solution. Okay, so when you say I can't, you basically are living in like a sort of like a preconceived like world where like you're already telling yourself I can't do it, so I'm not going to act on it. When you ask the question how can I, you then start to create ways to start to see things come to light. You start to figure out ways to incorporate the result that you want and make it happen. So how can I is so much better than I can't. And instead of I can't, you can say I can. Pretty easy. Instead of I don't, I do. Okay? It's really simple. This can apply to any area of your life, not just business, but to business as well. If you say I don't have the funds, well, now you can start to say I do have the resources, I do have the funds, and I'm gonna find them. Because guys, it's out there. Everybody has to deal with the same stuff. So what you need to go into is more of a solutions mindset here. Okay? Instead of I'm not, I am. I'm not as good as those people. I'm not as established as those people. How about I am a badass, and I am improving every day, and I am getting better at my craft, and I am capable of greatness, and I am able to achieve my dreams. Live in those positive affirmations in the I ams, and dude, your life will change in a big, big way. And instead of other people will judge me or other people will, whatever, how about I will? I will determine the trajectory of my business and the outcome of my business and the quality of my business and my clients. What about I will? Okay, when you adopt that philosophy, you're unstoppable. Okay, so I want you guys to know, change some of these old words, change some of these old thoughts and beliefs, and replace them with the new identity belief. Okay, the new thoughts, the new words, and you're gonna watch your business skyrocket. Okay, I promise you guys. So I want to end today just by letting you guys know that we're here for you guys. If you have questions about any of this, if you need help getting to the next level, going from step A to B or whatever part of the journey you're on, you can book a free breakthrough call with us today at 7step6figures.com/apply. And we're happy to get on the phone with you, talk with you, strategize with you, throw a game plan together with you so that we can help you take your business to the next level. I think what's most important to understand is that people that start businesses want success. Everybody that starts a business wants to succeed. Nobody wants to start a business and be a failure, right? That's not the goal that anybody has getting into it. But what happens is most people don't take the right steps. They don't take the right measures. And if you don't take the right steps, how can you expect to get to that next level? How can you expect to get to the point where you're charging $100 for your work and get to $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000? You've got to be willing to do some things that are different in your business to get to the next level. So the reason we started this whole series with mindset and then beliefs is because those things are critically important. And they actually spread into every other area and aspect of your business. I'm promising you guys, most people would listen to these two lessons or like see the word mindset or beliefs and tune out. And if you're hearing this and you're listening to this, believe me, if you will incorporate this stuff into your business, you will have a radically different business, a better business, a profitable business. But you've got to want it, and you've got to step out and you've got to take action. And that's the biggest thing in all of this, guys. So if you're needing help getting to that next step, go ahead, book the call. We've got your back. We're happy to get on and chat with you, see what kind of game plan we can put together, and just help get you guys to the next level, okay? I'm excited for what the rest of this week's going to bring. We've got a bunch of great lessons planned throughout the month, and we are going to get into more like sales, marketing, all that kind of stuff too. But I want to lay the foundation in this series with mindset, because when the mindset's right, everything else can go right. And then the mindset's wrong, then it's almost impossible to dial everything in, okay? So I want to thank you guys for your time. I thank you for being here. If you know somebody who could benefit from this series, please invite them to the group. Please tell them about this. It's a totally free series. Anybody who's interested and wants to learn can come learn, and it doesn't cost you anything. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, and we'll go through some cool stuff. Take care, guys.